I'm going to make this one really quick. You know, I don't know other people's testimonies. New experiences will always be new experiences. And the trippiest thing is the quote unquote, that which is most recent, end quote, because that's the most nearby experience you're living through. And the most recent event or circumstance you went through that is in some type of line of time, some type of blot of time, plop of time, plot of time, cloud of time, crop of time, prop of time, whatever. It's you're somehow moving with it and through something, and like the different spaceships of just the social encounters that we make us as a spaceship emotionally and mentally collectively, and within the matrix, and then the matrix being the material of it. So we're going through these different material fixed infrastructures as the fixed is coasting along some other orbit of cardinal and mutable. We're in something of a fixed and mutable right now, and the cardinal is the thing that could, like, you know, support the mutable and fixed in one way, but they all support, you know, each other, you know, in some other type of relationship. So, but from the top down, you could say, you know, on a different standard neutral level that you know, energetically something's initiating the elements, you know, on a collective level, and we're all the signs, because I'm not trying to say one sun sign is better than the other sun sign. I'm not trying to get into that, like, meaning of, like, you know, that whole, like, you know, that light passive aggressiveness of just, like, you know, kind of just trying, like, because in the end we're gonna have to learn how to not compete, you know. It's, I'm not saying competition is good or bad. I'm just saying there has to be a channel where, like, we have to stop comparing and competing so we don't cloud our own shit, you know? We don't clog our own mental path. We don't clog our own emotional path. We don't make the wrong decisions, you know? So within the circumstances of that which is most recent, it could be quote unquote the trippiest, end quote, because that's where you're leaving off and starting anew and blasting off and jetting off, you know, the metaphorical launch pad or whatever, original open source, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, the most recent thing that you've been through, it's the quote unquote energetically trippiest, end quote, because that's what you're working with who you are at the depth of your soul. The depth of your soul has made this new surface level creature of you, right? And, you know, like, you know, beyond original open source, and seeing, like, just like where the original influence is coming from, you know, because that is the fucking energetic foundation, respectively. But I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, like, and when I like criticize something, I'm not trying to, like, see the bad in it, like, you know, toxic psychology egos could have, you know. I'm not just trying to see, like, make up some shit about it's false, because, like, when we critique, we all do it in such a different way based on our biases, based on what our, like, wants, needs, and caterings and desires, and based on, like, you know, different types of biases, you know, that are not just, like, you know, passed down, you know, from eras, but just, like, newly formed ones individually that you make as your own quote unquote pet peeves, end quote. So there's, aside from the biases, you know, we're we're trying to find our own influence and a different peer influence, and, you know, quote unquote chaotic order influences, self-established quote unquote demons, end quote, which they themselves most respectively, they themselves too are evolving, because we're all going through some particular unit of time, circuit of time, infrastructure of time, mechanics of time, and, you know, living it in the modern time, you know, within a different layer of time. And refer to my Instagram shit as well, as I unlock that shit too and edit it and fine tune it up too, because that is a whole different fucking platitude. That's like that whole IG low key. There's some real builds there where it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, fuck. It's just something else. It's most respectively, like, from a real original galactic level, it is beyond like all this, all all these fucking universities. Within, actually seeing actually unfolding, opening, and reviewing the particular case studies that were originated by me, that's already documented in the IG itself, because it's like obviously someone could just basically effing say, like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about a past transmission I did. It was detailed and structured, and upon hearing that detailed and structured thing, it's pointing to some type of original source, and how the original source is, like, is maintaining all of this shit throughout different layers, and we're just kind of like following up on just this first layer shit, literally. And within doing that, it's like within doing that, we're on our own individual subjective learning and reawakening, and new findings and new revelations of what it really means to actually properly grow in some type of balance, because all of these different, quote unquote consciousnesses, end quote, they themselves too, most respectively, are evolving. But just because they're still evolving, that doesn't discredit what they were and who they were, and how they're just a new microcosm of a different macrocosm of themselves. Because most respectively, we have to contemplate that, what if, like, these quote unquote, Goetic demons, what if they have their higher selves? What if they have a different next level? And they do, and that's their spectrum of their individual darkness. And then the spectrum of the collective darkness is how all of them come together in their collective portrait, and how they move within their mutable selves of soul spirit travels within the fixed matrix, going back to the elements of the cardinal. We're microcosms, or we are those things, or we're like a unique source that's differentiated somehow from that. And now we're like relearning ourselves based on the new version of ourselves. We're seeing what it means to start over, and there's so many perks within starting over, because you have something of a clean slate. There's like a needed portion, ingredients of like needed innocence, so it could reset like the spiritual traumas from like past lives. So a new self has to be made, and within that new self being made, it's rediscovering everything it already knew on a different vantage point, and now it's rediscovering it within a new version of itself, and it's connecting with everything else and all of its original self to rediscover all that which already was, always will, and will be evermore, and was, is, and will be evermore. Meaning we're just kind of so this is like the multidimensional tree of life part 2 respectively, and and just naturally saying it though, and being mindful of like how it's like within all of this, there could be there could be two different, like, or there could be like a different context of a shadow, like aside from like the lower octave of all the dark realms and all the shadows, a different refraction of that could just be the artificial intelligence realm within, like, that's going towards a particular, like, a particular destruction within respects to, like, the interpretations. So it's not that like the darkness and the quote unquote energy of, like, darkness, end quote, and it's not like that itself is the AI realm. No, those are slightly different. How are they different? Because AI is still running off of, mechanics and operations of different types of fields of light, respectively. So AI is like, kind of playing and receiving and computing, however it is, the light and the dark. And then the dark and the light, they are their own things, aside without the AI. There's a whole different, like, esoteric, quote unquote AI, right? End quote. So within that, that's what's intermeshing in a new, unique time within this threshold. Somehow the esoteric real field of consciousness, it's dawning in this earth. The earth was in a place of darkness, and within this threshold, new light is coming. Simultaneously, the resurfacing of all the AI tech, not good, not bad. The resurrection of Atlantis, respectively, not good, not bad. Mind you, it's how we're doing all of this shit, and how we're feeding falsehood or not, because it's not even that the demons are good or bad either. The demons have potential to be good and bad, because they still need some type of constructive balance towards whatever the fuck they are as a polarity, because everyone has a secret need, esoteric vulnerability, for a need of balance. And within that need of balance, there's all the different parts of the matrix. There's different types of checks and balance systems within just the standard outlay of the matrix, and we're barely interpreting that it's more energetic and esoteric than it could be, and then the falsehood is just kind of covering the true mechanics up. And now we get to see how we could balance AI with whatever the fucking source of super consciousness is, right? So that's one natural reason why on a different natural level it's beyond that AI of a particular type of fragmentation and isolation and differentiation. But still, it's not to be underestimated either. It is what it is. It's how are we going to partner with that AI type of shit, whatever the fuck the collective AI is, and however the collective AI is somehow, constructive and benevolent, and somehow it's leaning towards deconstructive and de-benevolent, quote unquote malevolent, end quote, and not to get, confused with the etymology. And the 40 minutes of the recent unreleased, it was me talking about just how we don't really fucking know what is really going on, just on a bigger picture level. And from that starting point of me saying that could dive in and pivot towards any literally any this type of discussion, right? Because obviously that's a pretty hefty claim in any type of discussion. Well, let the query, do its rerouting and rerouting, and let the query work with some type of quote unquote esoteric algorithm where the universe is just kind of more or less reflecting what we are, where we're at in our spiritual development. That's pretty much it. In so many different ways that could be explained, So this one was a swift one. This one was a quick one. And I just wanted to be quick with this one because just certain circumstances that we go through and certain events that we go through, we're no disrespect, but the humans are young spirits that they don't they can't decipher what different types of energies are, because we're just young in the intelligence for some odd reason. And without the intelligence, the natural shield of God is lost upon those who wish for real fucking salvation, and anybody who asks for mercy to begin with. They've been lost without the real light, real pure light of beyond just the intelligence and information, but just pure light. There's an absence of that, and within that absence, their relationship with the universe is just it's reflecting that to them for their own reasons. No disrespect, no judgment, And I'm not trying to it has nothing to do with sympathizing, It's trying to we're understanding it on new levels of how did it really end up like this, That's something we really gotta ask ourselves, how did it really end up like this? And as we keep asking that question, then we get to find it out, But that's up to us. It's up to us to choose, whether we want to find it out or not. So we're all on our individual paths, and eventually we should stop comparing, because comparing is like the thief of joy, as they say, standardly saying it. And And it's not just that, it could cloud your, like, you know, it could really affect your life. It could just take space. Somehow that energy of just some, you know, unnecessary worrisome could take space, and it could just be a, you know, some type of esoteric, you know, fog, right? And within that esoteric fog, it doesn't have to be there, you know. But, you know, depending, but everyone's different, you know, because obviously, like we never know who someone else really is under the mask that they have. And why do I say it like that? I say it like that because we don't really know who is who, but based on like certain, like, you know, really good human design coaches teaching us the psychology of the archetypes and whatnot, then but it's not even just within HD. It could be learned without HD, but to see that, it's that has to that's a part of your own contemplation path, you know. So this was a quick one, and within this quick one of me saying it, the main point of this video was for me to just say, like, the most recent thing that we've been through energetically, based on our new self, it could be kind of bizarre because we don't, like, there's so many different energies going on, but within all of the erratic chaos, static, and dynamic chaos at bay, there is different types of, like, order at bay, whether, like, regardless of what we think of it, regardless of our mental attitude, because a lot of this is, like, you know, it really is the attitude, you know, that really, like, that really actually helps the community and helps the fucking organization, like, most directly. Like, it's literally like, regardless of our, like, mental perspective, if we say we want to be a boss of a company, but we don't want to fucking look out for the greater good of just that little organization, then energetically you're not really qualified to be a boss, because you're like, you're counterproductive to what's trying to be positively conduced and introduced within the organization itself, and all the fucking, most respectively, excuse my French, all the flipping principles they stand by. It's kind of like, it's not, you're not like, you're being counterproductive to that, and it's going over your head for your own ego bias reason of just what, like, how energetically it doesn't make sense how, like, you know, how things could get, like, you know, misqualified. But obviously there was a qualification that was there. So within that qualification that's there, then there has to be, like, different certain types of conflict resolution teams within any, like, organization that there is. Because if there's not, then you're gonna let, like, shit slide, in which your fucking principles are saying you don't want to let shit slide. So the whole fucking dynamic of the whole core guidelines is already false, non-authentic, just saying stuff, rhetoric playing without them even realize it's rhetoric playing, rhetoric juggling without them even realize it's rhetoric juggling, rhetoric snuffling, and on the last night 40-minute unreleased video, I also did another bombshell of a lyrical acapella of just, like, just some unique shit. And, like, honestly, like, collectively, I have, like, I have a lot of quantity too over the, like, of like my underground lyrical, you know, career. So, but that's a different thing. I'm just saying that for that what it is. But going back to the point of this video is, like, you know, you know, so and this is an intuitive, you know, kind of message, you know. It's not for me to, like, I'm not applying, like, just the wisdom over the years. I'm not applying it particularly to anybody, you know. If that's what you are as an energetic thing, then that's what you are as an energetic thing. That's advanced identification esoterically, you know. within the balance of the matrix and the spirits, because they're different things, you know, and within the different things, like, it is what it is, you know. We're all trying to get by through this matrix. We all reached a certain level, and now standardly, advancedly, beside the tech, there's a different, like, spiritual assessment that's going on, no cap. And within the spiritual assessment that's going on, no cap, we're being resonated and synchronized, and we're energetically being placed with where we're at from our spiritual development, you know. So I'm not saying that, like, you know, I'm not saying anything is good or bad, you know. I'm saying everybody is leaning towards a certain polarity of energy, and everybody could still, you know, work with a you know, new type of balance, respectively. And the nearby most recent events that we go through, that's it. Our natural challenge is to see, like what are the energies hidden for, you know, like what are these energies like rallying up for, and compiling up for, and compiling up for, and concubinizing up for, and head chogadilizing up for, and gagializing it up, flossializing it up, stewializing it up, indubitably, fluidly, I becoming ever so flyfully, unfearfully, fearlessly, I becoming faithfully, ever glorifully, every steadfastfully, blastfully, unbashfully. Why? Yo, shadows in me that I can't see unconsciously. Yo, monstrosity yoga is what I breathe, preach, BC, seek, seek, heat, love, yo. Got the veggies like the leeks. Got the Reeboks, got so new, you hear the squeaks, you hear the peaks of his ever tone of a reverberating perseverance like melody. Yo, devilishly, he be kettling along, scooping along, pterodactylizing up, yo, practicalizing up, super serenading it up, yo, everglading it up, Lake Tahoe to Shasta, yo. I am the dark reverend, the dark minister. I am the dark pastor. I eat you like carne and pastor. He's that raw, he's that ill, he's that what, he's that blah. He ain't gonna bluff, he's like all in, right on his eulogy and ethereal tapestries. Cause the ethereal tapestries is a part of the song of the real infinity. Real eternity. Yo, certainly he becoming always awake, always dead, always alive nocturnally. Yo, earnestly rip currently I be, yo, stirring it up sternly. I'm churning me, earning a new viewpoint on life itself, life at large. Yo, ever gonna budge? Yo, Sims, do I need a wife? That's Nefertiti. Yo, new depiction. White Marge, Yellow Marge, oh, he's coming like Gears of War, that graphic, that brutal, that raw. He's at the classic level, Bullet Marsh in the swamp, ho. Call of Duty Black Ops, ho. Got the new cream, got the new crop, got the new, got the new flavors in this Captain Saver, ho, type of stew. I got the blade for you. Marvel meets DC, and DC meets Marvel. Oh. He's a young sorcerer, got a new formula. Yo, get the crevices, get the corners, get the corridors, get the corduroy mapping out, get the mortar raw, get the blower raw, get the gear gar, get the gargoyle flow in this. Yo, he's that gushy, unfluffy. Yo, he got the ultraviolet frequency light, so he diminishes those boils, ho. I'm royal though, royal stream, royal scream, royal flow, royal, yo, senoritas fleeting the scene, fleeting like armies. Yo, armies got the perp like Barney. I'm got my Starfleet. I'm charmed. I never said I was even charming to begin with, but I'm farming some other multidimensional type of craft, and I'm catering to this new craft, new shit, new soul, new star fleet, new star zone, new star sky, new star lit. Got roll out the ultimate carpet for your boy, most supreme with it, clean with it. I redeem everything, redeem the dignity, even the most villainous got a newfound innocence. Okay, so this one feels concluded because I just went off the tracks, but whatever. But the main point of this video was to interpret the energies with with good help.